This is a passage from Mary Daly's book, Ecology. It is noteworthy that German psychiatrists whose ideas influenced and helped to promote the Nazi euthanasia program also came to have a particularly strong influence upon American specialists. One of these German psychiatrists was Alfred Hack, who in 1920 co-authored the influential book, The Release of the Destruction of Life Devoid of Value. The book which provided the Nazi exterminators with a legitimating slogan and ideology. He also trained a number of eminent specialists who taught in America. And at the bottom of the page, she has an endnote that reads, among these, according to Frederick Wertham, were Robert Wartenberg, professor of neurology in California, and Aldous Meyer, professor of psychiatry at Johns Hopkins. Another psychiatrist whose ideas contributed to the justification of the massacre of mental patients was Ernst Rudin, professor of psychiatry at Basel and at Munich. Rudin emphasized the alleged influence of heredity upon mental disorders, providing scientific reasons for the compulsory sterilization law, which was the forerunner of the mass killing of mental patients. Like Hack, Rudin influenced American psychiatry through his students. One of these was Eugen Kahn, who became a noted professor of psychiatry at Yale. And on the next page, she reads, like the body and mind gynecologists of America, the physicians and psychiatrists who justified and participated in the Nazi extermination and medical experimentation programs operated in the tradition of the Torture Cross Society. Although their victims, mental patients, and Jews were of both sexes, all were cast in the victim role modeled on that of the victims of patriarchal gynocide, which is the root and paradigm for genocide. This massacre was justified by an ideology of purity. Prior to the extermination of the Jews, when the targets for massacre were Aryan mental patients, the alleged object was purification of the race from the burden and contamination of defectives. The same ideology was extended to legitimate the elimination of Jews from the general population. None of what's happening right now is a coincidence. They are taking playbooks from the literal Nazis who took playbooks from the United States racism built on the basis of eugenics, which involves racism and ableisms and all types of other discrimination on the basis of who is a full human and who is less than human. And we need to point that out for what it is, because this is well documented and we can't let them allow us to believe that it isn't.